I wanted to show off a trick that I use to get the bass guitar to poke through the mix in a rock track or in any track that has a lot of different guitars or EPs or pianos or things that get in the way of a bass guitar. A lot of the time you can't just turn the bass up because it'll make the track too bassy or too dark or just out of balance in general. So EQ can fix some things, but sometimes you need some tips and tricks. And so on this track I've got the trick rendered up right here, and it's through the basic stock Logic compressor. In this case I have it set to a Studio VCA with some settings, nothing terribly big and not a lot of gain reduction. But the point is that I have this distortion soft clipper turned on, or it's a distortion clipper turned to the soft setting. And even at that soft setting, it gives a little bit of distortion, a little bit of punch, just a little more grit every time the bass hits the compressor. And so instead of just turning the volume up, the bass actually punches through more and gets more distorted when it is at its highest, when it is at its peaking, when the transits are hitting. And I find that helps it poke through a lot more easily than just doing volume edits or things like that. So let's get a quick reference for the track, and then we'll do a before and after on it. This track is called Last Summer. It's coming out as a single soon on Spotify. I'll drop in the link when it's available.
It's a measure up, it's not right, but it is time.
So yeah, the bass is very prominent in that part of the song in the chorus, and this compressor is really only putting a dB&1 or so of gain reduction. I've even got it mixed in ever so slightly, or I guess mixed out ever so slightly with the dry signal right there. But it really changes when you turn that thing on and off. Let's check it out with it off now. Do the bass and solo. So yeah, you can tell the bass is already pretty crunchy, but then it just adds a little extra kick to put it in there. I'll admit some of what's going on is a bit of output gain happening there. It probably just gets louder with the distortion clip turned on. So I do adjust for the gain coming out a little bit to accommodate for that. But admittedly, it's probably a bit of volume, but a lot of punch going through. So check out this track once it's released. That's Last Summer by Alex Couch, C-O-U-C-H. And subscribe to this channel for any more like simple tips and tricks. I'm just a songwriter who knows how to mix and who's doing things bit by bit without any fancy big analog equipment or anything like that. So follow along and have a good one.